Caitlin Clark just called out the Indiana Fever. Publicly. In their own comments section. In front of every fan, every reporter, and every other franchise watching. And if the Fever doesn't get it together, she walks. Her contract is up soon. The clock isn't a metaphor. It is literally already running. Don't take our word for it. Listen to this.
What is that? What is that? Why does it look like this?
Charging Gustafson.
Who's in who? Yo, I heard the social media team, somebody got fired. I don't know, but this is ridiculous. This is embarrassing.
That reaction is not about a blurry video. A blurry video is a Tuesday. That reaction is about a franchise that cannot get out of its own way, and hasn't been able to for a while now. If you already knew something was wrong in Indiana, you've been paying attention. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe. We find the receipts everyone else ignores. Every single time. But here's what nobody is connecting right now. The social media embarrassment, the coach's comments, the CBA disaster, these are not three different fires. They are one fire. And by the end of this video, you will see exactly why Caitlin Clark has every reason to start looking for the exit. Start with what actually happened. Because the blurry video? That was just the beginning. Here is exactly what went down.
Side charging Gustafson. Key Nile. Aaliyah Boston.
The Indiana Fever wanted to celebrate Aaliyah Boston. Reasonable. Boston is having a monster unrivaled season, leading the entire league with 24 blocks, averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds in Miami. That is genuinely worth posting about. So the Fever made a highlight reel. And posted it completely distorted. Unwatchable. Like someone ran the footage through a broken blender and hit publish anyway. And Caitlin Clark, their franchise player, their meal ticket, the reason that building sells out, went into the comments. Publicly. And wrote, word for word, respectfully, how am I supposed to watch this? Now I have a migraine. That is not a joke. That is not banter. That is a superstar telling her own organization, in writing, in public, that they are not on her level. And here's the part that should make Indiana's front office sweat.
She's already annoyed with the CBA. Y'all do know she's not forced to stay with Indiana forever. That contract is going to be up soon. Y'all do know that, right? Y'all should get on point. Y'all should stop running around talking about other people are the #1 priority. Y'all should stop talking about how this is somebody else's team. Y'all should stop.
She is not forced to stay. Let that land. Clark played only 13 games last season, groin injury, ankle problems, limited to barely a third of the schedule. Still averaged 16.5 points and nearly 9 assists per game. Still earned her second straight All-Star starter selection. Hurt. Diminished. And still the most important player on that roster by a distance that isn't close. The Fever made the semifinals without her healthy. But their national relevance? Their sellouts? Their media coverage? That does not exist without Clark at full strength. And right now, the franchise is spending goodwill they have not earned, on a timeline they cannot afford to waste. And the distorted video? That is actually the least of Indiana's problems. Remember what we said at the top of this video. The social media failure, the internal messaging, the CBA stalemate, not 3 stories. One story. Here is where it all connects. The 2026 WNBA season is currently in jeopardy. The players' union and the league cannot find common ground on a new collective bargaining agreement. Clark is already carrying the weight of that uncertainty heading into her 3rd season. And the union leading that negotiation, the same union asking the league for more, just got caught in a contradiction they cannot explain away. Hear this clearly.
They said that Unrivaled was being created so that people did not have to go overseas. Well, you're in Unrivaled, so what are you still going overseas for? Y'all said it was too much on your body. Why are you doing it then? Why are you doing it?
Breanna Stewart is heading back to EuroLeague, while actively playing in Unrivaled. The league that was specifically sold to the public as the solution to overseas play. The league that was supposed to eliminate the "our bodies can't handle it" argument. Gone. Overseas. Again. And it is not just outside observers saying the union has been dishonest. Players inside the union have gone on record, in interviews, calling their own leadership greedy. That is not a rumor, that is on tape. So Clark is not navigating one dysfunction. She is navigating two simultaneously. A franchise that cannot execute the basics. And a union whose own members do not believe its arguments. That is the full picture. And it is worse than it looks. So let's say what everyone is thinking, but nobody on the main channels will say out loud. The Indiana Fever have the most valuable player in women's basketball. The player who moved the needle. Filled arenas. Doubled ratings. Put this league on the national sports calendar in a way it had never been before. And what is the organization doing with that? Posting blurry videos. Letting their coach hand team identity to someone else. Watching the clock run on a contract they have not secured. This is not a social media problem. This is not a content calendar problem. This is a franchise that does not understand what it has. And franchises that do not understand what they have, lose it. Every time. Without exception. The warning signs are not hidden. Clark is not sending private messages. She is writing it in the comments section. In public. For everyone to see. That is how loud the silence from the front office actually is.
You got Stephanie White running around talking about how Kelsey, y'all not on point. You got Kelsey Mitchell talking about how she could just look at Stephanie White and tell she just believes in her, and Stephanie White done told her it's her team.
So while the Fever fumbles, what is Clark actually doing? Here is what Clark is doing while all of this plays out around her. Preparing. May 9th, season opener. Paige Buchers and the Dallas Wings come to Indianapolis in what is already one of the most anticipated early season matchups on the schedule. Clark will be there, healthy. Ready. No press conference about the drama. No statement. No response to the comments section chaos. One comment. Then back to work. That is the move of someone who knows exactly how much leverage she holds. You do not have to argue your value when your value is undeniable. You just show up. And let everyone else explain themselves. But the fanbase? They are not moving on as fast as she is. The reaction to that distorted video was not just mockery. It was frustration. Because this audience has watched Clark turn the Indiana Fever from an afterthought into appointment television, and they expect the organization to operate at that same level. The Fever's own fans are saying what Clark said more diplomatically in that comment. The gap between what this franchise has and what it is doing with it, is becoming impossible to ignore. Here is what we think happens next. And it should concern everyone in Indianapolis. The Indiana Fever have one off-season, maybe two, to become an organization worthy of what Caitlin Clark represents. That means sharp content. Unified messaging. And a front office that treats her contract extension like the most consequential business decision in franchise history. Because it is. The CBA will get resolved, the season will tip off. But if the Fever keep proving, through blurry videos and fractured internal messaging, that they do not grasp what is at stake, Clark will have her answer long before the contract talks officially begin. The Fever do not just need to be better. They need to be so clearly, so undeniably better that she never has a reason to look anywhere else. If you see it too, tell us in the comments. Is the Indiana Fever front office actually built for this moment? Subscribe for the next receipt, hit the bell. Do not miss what's coming. Because in Indiana right now, the clock is not ticking. It is already counting down.